Now let's expand the previous example in which we have divided two numbers in which one of the number is 0. Now since we are expanding it, we are dividing that number with 0, it will throw an error which is arithmetic exception, right? But let's say if I have an array here, so let's say we have int z array, and this z has a memory, let's say int new int, and the size of this array is 5. So that means the array size is 5, so the index number will start with 0 and it will end at 4, right? So I can say it is z of 0, we can specify a value which is 4, we can say z of 1, we can specify a value which is 5, we can say z of 2, we can print a value which is 6. Let me assign those values here. So it is z which is 3, let's say value is again back 2, then it is 4, and the value is, let's say 9. So we have these 5 values, so we can assign all these values, right? So there's no problem. Even if you run this code, so you can see if I try to run this code, the output is, you cannot divide by 0, right? Because we are dividing it by 0. Let's say, let me make it 2. Now if I run this, if I say run as Java application, the output is 2 and by. That means there is no error because of this. But what if, by mistake, if I write one more which is with 5 and the value is, let's say 1. You can see the size of this array is only 5, right? So you can have only 5 elements. That means the element number or index number start with 0, it will go till 4. If you try to assign the value to 5, which is the 6th element, it will throw an error. But let's say which error? Since we are, even if I am using try and catch, let's say if I am getting this output which is by. So run as Java application, so we can see, we are getting an error. And this time error is not arithmetic exception. This time it is array index out of bounds exception. So this name here, which is array index out of bound exception, this is a class name. I know it's a big weird class name, so but it's a class name. So it is array index out of bound exception. So are we handling that error? No, we are just handling this error which is arithmetic exception. Then what to do now? So if you don't want to handle all if you want to handle all different type of exception, we can simply say it will handled by this exception, and we can run this now, and the output is it? You cannot divide a number by 0. We are not dividing a number by 0. We are dividing the number by 2. The problem is, as this line throws an error, it will go to exception. Doesn't matter what is written inside. It will go here and it will print the block. If you execute this block, the output is you cannot divide by 0. But that's not the case. We are exceeding the value, or we are exceeding the index value. So we need to print that value. We need to print that error. That means we need to print the maximum element is 5. The maximum number of elements is 5. In order to do that, what we can do is we can specify the type of error. So this type of error is arithmetic exception. So this is arithmetic exception. We can use one more catch. So we can have one try with multiple catch. One catch will handle arithmetic exception. The second catch will handle, which is array index out of. Let me just use this IDE tool, which is you can just press Control space, which will give you this name. So we can say array index out of bounds exception. We can simply say E, and we will print here it is system.out.println. So we can print here it is maximum index is 4, which means you cannot exceed the values of array which is 5. Now if you run this application, instead of getting that weird you cannot divide by 0 error, we will be getting now maximum index is 4. Okay, so this is how you can write one try with multiple catch. But let's say in this code we have one more error which we don't know now. There might be some error which we are not able to see now. So in that scenario, we can write one more catch. So if arithmetic exception is not able to handle, if arithmetic sort of bound exception is not able to handle, we can write a general exception which will handle everything. So if the above two catches failed to handle that exception, we can use a third catch block for exception class, and we will print here which is unknown error. Simple. So this is a try with multiple catches.